What if we told you winning it all still wasn't enough? Jayson Tatum stands at the podium, a champion, but instead of celebration, there's tension.
So, I mean, people have said it before, but coming up short and having failures makes this moment that much better. Because you know what it feels like to lose. You know what it feels like to be on the other side of this and be in a locker room and hearing the other team celebrate and having them celebrate on your home floor. Like, that was devastating.
The questions around him haven't stopped. They've only grown louder. We've seen the highs, dominant scoring nights, deep playoff runs, and moments where he looks completely unstoppable.
Horford again. Missed it and a stick back. Tatum. Devastating.
And we've also seen the lows, quiet stretches, missed opportunities, and moments where his impact fades when the pressure is at its highest. That's why the debate won't go away.
White looking. Tatum turns, fires off the mark.
How can a player this successful still feel this criticized? Is Jayson Tatum the face of the NBA moving forward, or a superstar who still hasn't taken that final step? What's wrong with Jayson Tatum? That's what we're breaking down today. This situation really exploded after the Celtics were knocked out of the playoffs. Coming into the postseason, expectations were sky high. This was a team many people believed could go all the way, and Jayson Tatum was supposed to be the clear leader of that run.
How much pressure is on Tatum to win it all, UD?
I think it's an extreme amount of pressure. I mean, one thing you can say is it's supposed to be fun. It's not fun until you hold that trophy up. It's not fun until you get to that parade.
But when things didn't go as planned, all eyes immediately turned to him. It's not just about wins and losses anymore. It's about impact. When the Celtics hit tough moments, people expect Tatum to take over completely, to be that go-to superstar who controls the game and delivers under pressure. The kind of presence he's clearly modeled after players like Kobe Bryant. So, when that takeover moment doesn't happen, when there's no 40-point performance, no signature stretch, the reaction is instant. Social media lights up and the criticism gets loud. Now, fans are split. Some still believe in him as a top-tier superstar. Others are questioning everything, his leadership, his decision-making, even whether he truly has that clutch.
Smart, one more to Tatum. Driving against Maxey, no whistle. Tatum got it! Here's Tatum. Fires over Embiid, got it!
Factor. And that's the real reason this is blowing up. There's a growing gap between what the numbers say and how people feel about his impact. On paper, he's elite. But for a lot of fans, something feels missing. That edge, that presence, that defining spark you usually see from the very best players when it matters most. That tension between expectation and reality is what's driving the debate right now. Before the criticism, you have to acknowledge the reality. Jayson Tatum's resume is elite. He's one of the best scorers in the league, plain and simple. Night after night, he gives you high-level production without forcing the game.
Tatum, good ball fake, one more. Tatum, oh, he caught one! Punched it on the...
Whether it's creating his own shot, attacking mismatches, or stretching the floor, he's a complete offensive weapon. And this isn't a one-year thing. Tatum has been performing at an all-NBA level for multiple seasons now. That kind of consistency matters. Like, he's not just good, he's reliably great. Then there's winning. This isn't empty stats on a struggling team. Tatum has been the centerpiece of a Celtics squad that keeps going deep into the playoffs. Eastern Conference Finals runs, finals appearances, unseen bias. This team is always in the mix, and he's a big reason why. That's why the face of a winning franchise label fits him perfectly. When you think of the Celtics in this era, you think of Tatum. He's been their number one option, their go-to scorer, and the player defense's game plan around every single night.
Tatum, step back three, cool!
He also does the little things that don't always get highlighted. He plays defense, he rebounds, and over time, he's improved as a passer when teams throw double teams at him. So if you're looking at it objectively, everything checks out. Elite scorer, all NBA talent, consistent playoff success, leader of a contender. Which makes the big question even more interesting. If the resume is this strong, why does the doubt still exist? And now, for the first time, fans are seriously asking something that used to sound crazy. Is Jaylen Brown the better player? During the 2024 title run, it was Brown who stepped up in the biggest moments, winning both the Eastern Conference Finals MVP and the Finals MVP. That shifted the narrative in a big way. Brown's game feels more aggressive, more direct. He attacks the rim, plays with force, and brings a defensive intensity that jumps off the screen.
Throw it in the corner. Brown fakes, fires up the three. Bang! Bang! Jaylen Brown knocks down the three to tie the game. Timeout, Indiana.
In comparison, Tatum's style can look smoother, but also at times a little passive. And that's where one of the biggest criticisms comes from. When the game tightens up, fans want to see control and urgency. Instead, Tatum sometimes settles for tough, contested jumpers, especially step-back threes, when a simpler, higher percentage play might be there. It creates the feeling that he's not fully imposing himself when it matters most. Then there's the leadership conversation. Tatum isn't loud, he's not overly emotional. He leads in a quieter, more composed way, but not everyone sees that as a strength. Some fans interpret it as a lack of presence, especially when things start going wrong. When momentum shifts, people want to see someone take charge immediately, and at times it feels like Tatum is waiting instead of forcing the issue. That opens the door to bigger questions. Is he a natural leader or just the most talented player on a well-structured team? And beyond the game itself, there's also a perception issue. Fair or not, some fans see him as a bit too polished, even corny, like he's trying to fit into the mold of past legends instead of fully owning his own identity. In an era where personality matters as much as performance, that perception sticks.
White to Tatum. Tatum now drives, and Tatum, an exclamation point.
All of this builds into a bigger doubt, not about whether he's great, but whether he can truly be the face of the league. Because for that role, fans expect dominance, personality, and unquestioned control in the biggest moments. Now, people's asking what kind of player he actually is. Is he a great player or a true, undeniable superstar? There's a difference. A true superstar doesn't just fit into a system. They are the system. Think about players like Giannis Jokic or prime Steph Curry. Everything runs through them. Their presence alone bends the game no matter who's around them. With Tatum, that's where the doubt creeps in. The Celtics are stacked. Multiple all-star level players, elite role guys, a deep, well-built roster. So the question becomes, how much do they actually need Tatum to be that guy? If you swapped him with another top-tier wing, would Boston still be a contender? Maybe even the same team? That idea, fair or not, creates this plug-and-play perception. And once that label sticks, it starts to chip away at how people view his individual impact. Then it turns into a bigger debate. Is this about pure talent or leadership? Is Tatum driving success or benefiting from the environment around him? There's also a strange gap between image and reality. He's clearly inspired by Kobe. You can see it in how he carries himself, how he approaches the game, but when those takeover moments don't land, that comparison flips from inspiration into criticism. And then there's the timing of all this. The league is shifting. New stars are rising, bringing not just production, but identity, charisma, uniqueness, a defining presence. Tatum, meanwhile, is stuck in a tough spot. He's been next up for years. But now the conversation is moving past that. So where do we actually land on all of this? Here's the honest answer. Jayson Tatum is elite. No debate there. He's one of the most complete players in the league, a consistent all-NBA talent, and the centerpiece of a winning team.
Not this time, batted out by Tice. Rozier, Tatum!
His ball gets back to Rozier. Look at Tatum. There's the cut. There's the hammer.
But he's not in that very top tier just yet. He's not in that small group of players who can take over a series, control every moment, and carry a team, regardless of the situation. That level, the true best of the best, still feels just out of reach for him. Right now, we haven't fully seen that. Tatum fits perfectly into a great system, but the question is whether he can rise above the system and define it when it matters most. That's the gap between being elite and being undeniable. The interesting part, his story isn't finished, not even close. The Celtics are built to compete for years, which means he's going to keep getting chances to answer these questions. And that's what makes this so compelling. Because Tatum isn't fighting his opponents as much as he's fighting expectations, the version of himself that people believe he should be, until he reaches that level where the dominance, leadership, and results all fully align. This conversation isn't going anywhere. So now it comes down to you. Is the criticism fair? Or are people expecting something unrealistic from a player who's already doing more than enough? Has Jaylen Brown really taken over in Boston, or is Tatum still the guy, just misunderstood? Let us know in the comments. If you enjoyed this breakdown, make sure to like the video and subscribe for more deep dives like this, because this debate, it's far from over.